Thank you so much for joining us today, Evan. If you could maybe share with us a little bit of the secrets to success around YouTube, and specifically, I am so impressed with the reach that you have attained. You're almost to 400 million views on your YouTube channel. And my understanding from your presentation at Genius Network was that it's mostly from the recommendation engine and not from YouTube search.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Stephan. It's great to be here. And I come from SEO world, similar to you. I mean, my background was I had a website off my name. We had 100,000 pages of content, and it was just about getting those pages ranked through search and converting people on ads and signups for ebooks and all that kind of stuff. And when I went to YouTube now 11 years ago, so it's been a while on the platform, I applied the same methodology, and then I realized, like, why am I taking so long to grow? It took me 5 years to get to 7,000 subscribers, from 0 to 7,000 subscribers, 5 years, and then 5 years to go from 7,000 to 2 million, and now we're at 2.6 or whatever. So I was like, why is it taking so long to grow? Because all the stuff that I'm doing in my SEO, Google is YouTube. Like, why am I not growing the same way? And I realized that most views on YouTube don't actually come from search. Most views on YouTube come from the recommendation engine, from suggested, which is unlike typical SEO. So the game to play is ranking not for search, but ranking against other people's videos.
Yeah.
So if you think about your own search experience or your own YouTube experience, you might search for something like, how do I XYZ? And you put that in. How do I do Google SEO? That could be a search query. And you watch one video, but then YouTube's gotten so smart at recommending videos to you. You'll go and watch 7, 8, 9 more videos that have been automatically recommended to you that you never hit back to go back to the search results anymore. And so it's not that search is dead or search isn't valuable. It is still the second largest search engine. You've probably heard that a million times. It's true. It's just most of the consumption doesn't happen from search. And so when I realized that, and I was seeing other channels grow through the suggested and the browse, I feel, okay, I need to hack this. It's still the game of how do I rank? We're just ranking against other videos, not trying to rank in search.
Right. Yes. And so I would be so focused on dialing in all the YouTube SEO things, like uh, the SRT file, making sure everything's correct in that, and then uploading foreign language translations so that you'll be searchable in foreign languages for that video, and the titles, and doing the tagging and the hashtags and all that. And what you're saying is that that's all fine and good, but where the gold is cracking the YouTube recommendation engine.
Yeah, and also most of that isn't fine and good. Like, most of that, what you just said, actually doesn't make a difference anymore. Like, what you
Got it.
call the file doesn't matter. Hashtags are zero. Again, because a lot of SEO marketers came in and kind of ruined it, right? Like, you'll put in the hashtags for things that aren't relevant, that not the ethical ones, but everybody else kind of joins in. And so YouTube, they really make the decisions on what to show based off of the viewing habits and patterns of people, much more than what you classify something to be. And so the game for showing up suggested from an SEO perspective is more about the title. Like, I would really focus in on the title more than anything else. And I would try to pick a title that is related to a similar video. So the way to hack it is, whatever topic you're going to make a video on, how to rank in Google in 2020. Like, if that's going to be the title that you're going to make a video on, right? Which is great. Like, people go to YouTube to figure out, how do I rank in Google? And your video could show up. That could be your ideal title that you're thinking of and has all the keywords you're looking for. What I would do is go to YouTube, actually put that in, and then look at the videos that show up. And your goal is not so much to show up for that term, but on those videos, I want to show up after them. So it's tweaking your title to match a popular video so that they're going to watch their video and they're going to watch your video. And then I just assume you can make a better video because you have deeper knowledge than whoever is kind of ranking number one for it anyway. And that's how you start to hack the audiences. So they'll watch that person's video. Because you have a similar title, you have a better chance of showing up afterwards. And then they're like, oh my God, who's this Stephan guy? And then they keep watching more and more and more of your videos. you get recommended more and more and more and more and more as well. And so it's still the game of ranking. It's just, it took a while for me it took me 5 years too long to figure that out. But you can apply all of those skills. I love making data-driven decisions. We've done over 4,000 split tests on titles and thumbnails to try to optimize them as much as possible. So optimization is definitely super important, and most people don't do it. Just requires a little shift in the mindset.
Yeah. So let's talk about how to split test on titles and thumbnails.
Yeah. So how I do it is we use a tool called TubeBuddy.
Yep.
Tube like YouTube, and then Buddy. I'm not associated with the company apart from being a massive customer. We will put up a video, and then 1 week later, we'll test the different thumbnail and title combination. We actually start before we release a video. YouTube has a thing called the community tab where you can talk to your community, and we'll post in our community tab, hey, which title do you like better? And whatever they pick, that becomes what we put on our thumbnails, our title for the video. So we're already using a little bit of our user data before it even goes public. Then 1 week later, we will launch the video, and then a week later, we'll do the TubeBuddy split test, which will put one thumbnail versus the other, or one title versus the other. And it's not a perfect A/B. It's 1 day at a time. So day 1 will be version A, day 2 will be version B, and then day 3 version A, until you get enough data for it to say, hey, this version beats this version. And it's led to a lot of changes and insights that I wouldn't have predicted or thought. But again, it's not about what I, Evan Carmichael, like. It's about what the audience wants, and in that combination. So it takes away a lot of there's the art of trying to figure out what to come up with, but less of a, well, I think this is good, or I don't think this is good. It takes the opinions out of it to say, okay, well, let's try it and see what people actually resonate with, and then we'll go with the winner.
Yeah. So what would be an example of a title and thumbnail that you've done recently that you've tweaked and it was a little surprising or counterintuitive what the data said in terms of performance?
So 2 that come to mind. 1, the picture that you use in the thumbnail, we're getting a lot better results with screen caps instead of fancy pictures. So, this becomes a YouTube video, having a screen capture of me doing something like this, and taking that picture and putting it on the thumbnail, even though it's a little blurry, even though it's not, perfect, compared to taking the photo shoots that I've done and whatever my LinkedIn profile picture is, or all of the Instagram content that looks beautiful, the grainy, real, raw has almost always outperformed the fancy, beautiful, perfect, which is counterintuitive to Instagram, because when you're on Instagram, it's, and maybe everywhere else, like if we're doing a big event or a speech or a keynote, they always use my fancy pictures, not just some random, screen capture from a video. But people really love the personal side, and so that surprised me. That was one of them. Okay, let's just run it as a test, and great, we ran it as a test, and it won. Like, oh, that one? Okay, well, let's run 10 more. Oh, 80% of those won too? Okay, let's go update our 6,000 video archive so that they all fit this method, and split test along the way. So that was super shocking. And now we've applied it across all our videos. We've also found
there's a certain style to your thumbnails that are very consistent. It's very branded and brandable and associated with you. It's like there's more than just the kind of raw image taken from the video instead of a well-crafted headshot. It's like there's a color scheme or something that, like, maybe it's are you using filters as well to kind of come up with a certain color style to your images for the thumbnails?
So we use gold, white, and black. That's my brand. I'm wearing gold, white, and black. It's my brand colors. Why it's super important is, yes, some of the brighter colors like the gold, we max the saturation on because it stands out more to the eye, so people are more likely to click. But why it's super important is when somebody finishes watching a YouTube video, you'll see some videos show up afterwards, and then you'll see them down the side or at the bottom. And you want to develop a style. This is how you hack the suggested algorithm or hack the ranking system. Is if I'm watching a great Stephan video telling me how to optimize my website, and I clicked on it because I saw your face and some text on the side. But then there's another video of yours that does get recommended, but it doesn't have your face. It's a different font. I don't recognize it as being a Stephan video. What happens? I don't click on it. And now because I don't click on it, YouTube thinks, oh, people don't care about this video, so they stop showing it. So when you develop a consistent theme and style, it's also training people to know what a Stephan video, what an Evan Carmichael video looks like, so they're more likely to click it if they like your content. And so that helps. Your goal is to create a viewing pattern where if they watch one video, they're watching 5, 6, 7, 8 videos. And so training them to know what your video looks like. There's no perfect formula. It's not that gold, white, and black are the magical colors. It could be some other color scheme. Something bright, though, that it stands out. But having that consistent theme lets your viewers know, oh, this is his video. I want to go watch it again. And you end up getting suggested a lot more.
Yeah. And that would be why I would imagine not only for it's Vivo, right? The music video brand that all the different artists are using. So somebody gets trained to watch music videos, and then they look for that Vivo brand logo that is in the corner, and then they click on another one, and they click on another one, and they click on another one. And if one is missing, it feels like, is that like a homemade video, music video? Maybe I'm not going to watch that one.
Yeah, and so like the book cover really matters, right?
Yeah.
It could be the exact same song. I was doing a presentation this morning to my group where I was showing some thumbnails, and we were split testing a thumbnail that was 7 or 8 years old, and we did an update to the thumbnail and had a 300+% increase on the click-through rate. Same video, didn't change anything, didn't even change the title, just updated the thumbnail, 300% more clicks through on that video. And that's also the power of YouTube, where like SEO, an older page can still rank. But unlike other social media, nobody cares about your Instagram post from 3 days ago, let alone 3 years ago or 7 years ago, right? And so YouTube, in that sense, is more like traditional SEO through Google and finding content that as long as the content is evergreen, right? Like if you're talking about the 2020 election, that may not age super well, but
right.
For most of the stuff, as long as it is evergreen content, YouTube should be your #1 home for creating content.
Right. Even online courses, like how would you incorporate an online course strategy into your YouTube channel?
I would take the evergreen components of it and turn that into YouTube content. Also the very beginning level. So if you're going to create a course on how to rank in Google, say that's your course, the beginning stuff is, why is SEO so important, and what are the key foundational parts of it, and the history of it, and the stuff that kind of won't change. Like imagine in a year, 2 years, 5 years, it's still like why you should get into it is still relevant, and some of the high level concepts behind it are still relevant. But then the specific, deep, tactical things that may change. I don't know how much has changed. I'm not in the SEO web game anymore, but I don't know how much has changed in the past 5 years or so. Those, one is too high level for a YouTube audience. You're talking to the masses, right? You're talking to, like, you want to have content that has broad reach, where if you're talking about a really deep, niche linking strategy or something, it's just not going to play to a big audience. You're talking to like the little micro people. And that's what you can charge for. So YouTube, you think of for the ongoing kind of big audience, evergreen stuff that in 5 years will be relevant. And then inside your course is where you have the more advanced features that maybe you have to update, like maybe you're updating that course every quarter because some new thing has happened, right? That's how I would approach it.
Gotcha. That's great. Now there's some little tricks and kind of hacks, ethical hacks, of course, that will help you increase your subscriber base and will help you to get more views and more watch time and so forth. And one that you shared in your Genius Network talk I loved was when you link to a YouTube video of yours, add the ampersand list equals parameter so that it jumps right into a playlist, so that the video that you chose plays first, but then the rest of the videos from your playlist are what plays next, so you get maximum watch time. I love that. That was an awesome tip. I would love to hear some more hacks or tips and tricks for maximizing view count, watch time, and subscriber numbers.
Great. So this is a great example of that little hack. If I talked about it on YouTube, wouldn't do well because it's talking to a niche category versus why you should be on YouTube and why it's so valuable right now and the basics of it, right? When you get more advanced, it just wouldn't play well as a specific video. But inside a course, it's great.
Yeah.
So other hacks at the end of every video, super important. One thing most people don't do, you need to tell me where to go next. So at the end of a video, don't say thank you so much for watching. Don't say subscribe to my channel. Don't say anything that makes it feel like this video is ending, because then they're gone. What I want you to do is say, if you want to learn even more about how to optimize your website, you have to go check out this video right here next to me. I'll see you there. And you point to it and you look at it. So you need to start teaching people that one video is not the end. It's just the end of the first quarter. And you come back for the second quarter, of a basketball game or whatever, right? You come back for the next quarter. And so they're starting this journey with you. Your goal going in is, I'm reaching new people and I want them to watch 8 of my videos. What's the path I want them to take? Go watch it here. Because if that's what you can train YouTube to see, they're going to recommend a lot more of your videos to people, right? If they're coming in and watching 8 of your videos every time they come and they're watching 2 of somebody else's videos, you get ranked a lot more. You get suggested a lot more. It's like, holy cow, this guy's YouTube's goal is to keep people on the platform. So you're keeping them on their platform. So every ending of the video, link them to another video and don't act like the video is ending. You can have a pinned comment on every video. So in the comment section, you can have a pinned comment. So you can write your own comment and then pin it. So it's always at the top. That comment we often use for our latest video. So check out our latest video here, but it could also be, and which is also inside a playlist, right? But it could also be a targeted video inside a playlist. So then if I click to the comments and I click on your comment, which is at the top, it's going to put me into another playlist of 8 or 10 or 20 or whatever videos. And some people, most people don't watch the whole playlist, but some people do. Some people click on it and then it's on in the background. They forgot that it's even on. And they just watched 4 hours of your content while also working. And that helps. That helps with you ranking in the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
Or they clicked on it on the TV and they just leave it on. And then they just end up watching.
So watch time is so much more important than view count. It's like massively more important.
And it's the session watch time. So what do they do next? So if they watch one of your videos, and then they find my video, for example, and then they watch 20 of my videos, you get the credit for starting that whole chain. Even though they left your channel and went to mine, right? But if they watch your video and then they leave YouTube, you get a penalty because you made them leave the platform.
Right.
So
is it beneficial then to include other people's videos in your playlist to keep people on the platform longer?
I don't. But I would if you don't have anywhere else to send them. If you're making some totally off thing about pools or something, and you don't have any other video on your channel about pools, then sure, you can send them to another playlist. But most thought leaders, experts, you have other content on your own channel to showcase. And it's better to have them watching your videos than other people's videos. Right. But the worst is that they totally leave the platform. So that's why when you say, okay, thanks for watching, goodbye, or I'll see you next time, it encourages people to leave, which is the worst signal you can send to YouTube, that people are leaving the platform. Their goal, they want people on YouTube all day long. That's what you have to hack and understand. So if you can keep them on YouTube all day long, you're going to get a lot more views on your videos.
Right. And if you encourage them to engage, let's say that they leave comments and I actually have clients who turn off comments on their videos, and I think that's tragic. I think that's a terrible idea. What's your view on that?
I don't recommend it. When you respond to comments, people are 7 times more likely to subscribe to your channel. So I have hired people now on my team, and their full-time job is responding to comments from the brand. They put their name at the end so they don't think it's me doing it, but responding to comments is super, super, super important if you want to grow your channel. Most people don't respond to comments, or most people will say within the first an hour of the video going up, I'll respond to comments, where I think just like if you had a flower shop, you know, like you would have somebody answer the phone at some point where it's not just you doing it all the time. I see the same thing. People are coming to your videos, leaving comments. You should respond to them if you want them to come back and be more engaged, because nobody else is doing it. So it's a great way to stand out. Comments don't help though with, they used to help a lot more. Engagement factors like giving a thumbs up or giving comments would mean, oh, they're really engaged. YouTube's gotten so smart with the watch time. That's what they pay attention to. So if you leave a comment but you bounce, you're not going to get recommended more videos from that channel. But if you watch the whole video and never commented or never hit the like button, you will get recommended a lot more. They really just care about watch time on the account.
And so you should care about watch time, and you should be looking at the charts to see where people are dropping off in terms of watch time on your videos, and maybe redoing that, and certainly not excerpting the low watch time components of your videos for social media. Find the stuff that's the really juicy bits where watch time is up, right?
Yeah, I love data. I love making data-driven decisions. And so YouTube gives you the best data of all the platforms, where with every video, it'll show you what's called the audience retention curve, which is basically where people are falling off in your video. And the two suggestions I have for that is your goal should be 70% at 1 minute. So 1 minute in the video, you still have 70% of the people watching your video. That's a really hard number to hit. It doesn't sound like a big number, but it's a really hard number to hit, because if they've committed for a minute, they'll watch 9 more. It's really what's happened in the first minute. They care about SEO, and they see, you know, your video, and they've given you the first minute. You've done enough to hook them. You'd have to really suck or do something really stupid afterwards to lose them. You just see this slow trickle down, but it's in that first minute that people make the decision. I don't know. Do I believe this guy? Do I care about this guy? Is he giving me good information, before they move on to something else? So 70% at 1 minute, super, 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 super important that we look at. And then you're also looking for any spikes in the curve, which means that people rewound often to watch that part again. So if you're talking about SEO strategies, it's a 40-minute video, and at the 22-minute mark, you see a spike. Well, people rewound, like, wait, what did he say? What was that thing again? They rewound the video to watch it again. That's the clip that you cut and you take to LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram and all the other platforms. So YouTube is your home for long form content, and then you cut up the best people without having to think about it. Like, it's not an opinion. You might have liked everything. I like everything in my videos, but it's not always something that people relate to. It's like, that's the thing that people liked? Okay, cool. So we cut that, and then you put it to your other social platforms. And that allows me to put up 5 pieces of content a day to all the other platforms as well, because I'm really just making content for YouTube and cutting it. Yeah.
Very, very good. And so end cards tend to be about getting people to subscribe and watch another video. Like, what would be a best practice example of an end card that, besides yours, that people should emulate?
So end cards, if people don't know, is you have 20 seconds at the end of every video to have clickable things on your video. So they can click on to your website, they can click on to subscribe to your channel, they can click on to other videos, where throughout the whole rest of the video, of your 20-minute video, they can't click on anything, but that last 20 seconds is super important. Your number one goal is to get people to watch another video. I don't care about, I never say subscribe to my channel. If you think about your own patterns for subscribing to channels, you likely did not subscribe to a channel because the person said, subscribe to my channel. You subscribed to the channel because you watched one video, and then you went to their YouTube page and you saw another video and you watched a couple of them. I like this person. And so you subscribed. So that's your goal, right? That's what you want to reverse engineer. So teaching them to watch, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos. And so the biggest thing at the end card is what I said earlier. It's like you before you release a video, you have to think about what is the most relevant current video on my channel, so that you can pitch it at the end of the video. And you've got 20 seconds to do it. And if you have no editing capabilities, I would then just say, hey, you have to go watch this video here where I talk about on-page SEO factors and the 8 things that you're making mistakes on, whatever. You pitch that video for 20 seconds and you're looking at it and pointing to it. If you have editing capabilities, then you have 10 seconds to pitch the video. And then you use those last 10 seconds to pull the highlight moments from that other video and showcase it on screen, whatever the best moments are. And again, you don't have to think about it. It's in the audience retention curve. It'll show you what the best moments are.
Yeah,
and you
brilliant.
put that in the last 10 seconds. And then you put an arrow from the video now to like, go click on that video to go make it watch.
Oh, fabulous. Well, I know we got to wrap. Where do we send our listener to learn more from you? Do you have a course? Do you have a book? Like, where can they learn all the YouTube secrets?
It's crazy how time flies when you're having fun.
I know.
Yeah, I have a course. You can pick it up. YouTube Growth Bootcamp is what it's called. Otherwise, I've my website, my YouTube channel. You know, you can watch what I'm doing. I eat my own dog food, so all of this stuff that I'm talking about, we are applying. And if you ever want to know, the latest of what I'm doing, just go watch my latest video, because that's our latest strategy.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Evan. Thank you, listener. We'll catch you on the next episode.